Hello, my wonderful people. How are you all doing today? I hope you're good. Welcome to Early Years Matters TV. Today I have an interesting topic. I'm going to be looking at why and how screen time should be reduced for young children. Okay, so the topic is, if you are a parent, guardian or teachers of young children, why and how you should limit screen time. Okay, so before I dive in straight into the topic, I'm going to be giving you examples of some screen. Okay, so examples of screen are, mobile phones, televisions, iPad, PlayStations, and many more. Okay, so too much of screen time has negative effects on young children. Okay, children from birth to 6 years. My focus is going to be on children from birth to 6 years today because this is my area of expertise. Okay, so it's been proven that too much of screen time for young children has a negative effect on those children. And there are some research that has been done that I will try to link today's topic with. Okay, so some children specialists came up with recommendation in relation to time children should spend on screen. Specialists recommended that children from birth to 2 years should not have a contact with screen. So what does that mean? It means that children from birth to 2 years should not engage in screen time. Okay, and the reason being is, according to research, the period from birth to 2, it's really crucial in a child's life because that's the time, the brain formation, that's the time the child is getting to, to find out who they are, their identity. And it's really important that, we as the adults, whether you're the parent or you're the guardian or you're the teacher, that you help this group of children to, in terms of their brain formation, to be able to, to develop their brain. Okay, so let's look at it this way. When this group of children engage in screen time, children from birth to 2, it's not going to help them in terms of their brain formation because they are only taking in. Okay, they are not giving out. Okay, so that's children from birth to 2. So children from birth to 2 should not have contact with screen time. Okay, they should not be allowed to, that's according to research. Like, I try to link all my topic to research. So the children specialists came up with a recommendation that children from birth to 2 should not have contact with screen except only when they're from 6 months, maybe when their parents are video calling to their relatives or their family members. Okay, so now let's look at children from 2 to 5. Okay, so children from 2 to 5, according to the recommendation, the children specialist recommendation came up that children from 2 to 5 should only spend an hour a day of screen time. Okay, so that means children from 2 to 5 should only spend an hour a day on screen time, maybe watching TV, using the mobile phone. And they went on further that if this group of children from birth from 2 to 5 rather want to use the screen, it has to be to watch educational content. Okay, it could be nursery rhymes, educational content that is going to teach them turn taking, that is going to teach them how to share, that is going to teach them social norms. Okay, so it's really important. Okay, so if you're a parent of children from 2 to 5, okay, the recommendation is this group of children should have an hour of screen time a day, and it has to be educational content. Okay, so it has to be content that will teach them social values such as turn taking, interacting with their friends. Okay, so it's really important. Okay, so according to the children specialists, children from birth to 2 should stay away from screen time except only when the parents want to video call their families and the families ask that they want to see this group of children. I know it's not easy, but it's an habit that we have to cultivate. And children from 2 to 5, they have to only spend an hour screen time a day, and it has to be for educational content. Okay, so and then children age 6 upward, this is where the work comes in. It has to be a timing routine. Okay, you as the parent, whether you're the parent or you're the guardian or you're the teachers of this group of children from 6 upward, okay, these children can engage in screen time, but it has to be timing. Okay, so timing. You're not going to allow children to spend the whole day on mobile phones or watching television or playing PlayStations. And this group of children, if you give them the opportunity to have the whole day to watch TV, to play on the iPad or PlayStations, they will willingly want to do it. So that's when you as the adult, you have to step in, to give these children timing, okay? And also, whenever this group of children wants to engage in screen time, it must not interfere with their sleep. Okay, it is very important. Okay, whenever children from birth to 6 years, or even children from beyond 6 years upward, whenever they want to engage in screen time, it must not interfere with their sleep, it must not interfere with their daily routine, okay, it must not interfere with their education. This is really important. Okay, so now I'm going to consider the negative effect of too much of screen time. Okay, so now we've looked at the recommendation. Okay, so I've talked about the recommendation being recommended by the children specialists in relation to the amount of time children must spend on the screen. Okay, so now let's look at the negative effect. Okay, so in relation to too much of screen time, when you look at it, the children are just sitting down, they are just receiving, they are not giving. So for example, let's look at children playing on their iPad. You know, they're sitting down, they could be sitting down for 3 or 4 hours, they're just receiving, they are not giving. And it's really important, especially children from birth to 6 years. It's a time that they have to engage in play in order to promote their physical, intellectual, language, emotional and social and the cultural aspects of the child. So it's really important. Too much of screen time, okay, it's going to interfere with the children sleeping. Okay, so it's going to interfere with the children in terms of their brain formation. Okay, so it's going to interfere into obesity because these children are sitting down. Like I said, they are not exercising their body, they are not moving around. Okay, so they're just sitting down maybe for 3 hours or 4 hours glued to the TV or glued to the iPad. So they are not giving out, they are not exercising their body, they are not walking around. It's also, you know, too much of screen time, according to research, it's also linked to risk behavior, like the children fighting, shouting, the children nagging, because you know, you can see it's too much of screen time. Okay, like for example, we as adults as well, and this is also applicable to children as well. You know, you're watching TV or you're glued to the screen, okay, for 3 hours or 4 hours. You can see that, you know, you'll be tired, the concentration will not be there. Okay, so it's really important for adults as well. Okay, so if you're the parent, you're the guardian and the teachers of this group of children, you have to limit screen time. Okay, because in relation to, it's not going to help, it's going to lead to obesity, because like I said earlier, the children are not exercising their body, risk in behavior like fighting, shouting and nagging, low attention span. Okay, because like for example, and if you look at it, like for young children, maybe they are playing iPad and you're calling them, sometimes they would not even hear you because they are glued to the iPad, they are stayed tuned to the iPad with what they are watching on the iPad. Okay, so according to research, another negative effect of too much of screen time is speech delay. Okay, because like I said earlier, the children are sitting down, they are not engaging, they are not interacting with the environment, they are not interacting with their peers, they are not interacting with the adults. So it's just like, you know, somebody's staying still. And especially for children from birth to 6 years, language development is very important because they'll be needing these skills for later on in life. Okay, so it's really important as adults that we have to limit the screen time for young children. Okay, so and according to research, one research that has been done, that too much of screen time for children from 3 to 5, it interferes with their sleep, it interferes with their exercise, it interferes with their development activities. Okay, so and again, when children spend too much on screen time, they are missing on a lot of things. They are missing on play, they are missing on interacting with the environment, with their friends. Okay, so it is really important that as adults here, in relation to screen time, you have to reduce the amount of time children spend on screen. And the first way to go about it is you need to have a discussion with these children. Okay, so it's just like, for example, like myself as an adult, if I'm on my mobile phone and somebody takes my mobile phone off me just like that, you know, I'm going to be annoyed. So it's really important in relation to screen time. You need to give the children time, and you need to let them know, oh, now you're going to be allowed an hour on your phone daily, or you're going to be allowed an hour to play on the iPad, or and let these children know. They're not just going to say, okay, oh, and that's it now, can I have your phone? You know, you have to let them know ahead of time that, okay, there's going to be a little bit of change. And mind you, you know, the change is going to be a little bit difficult because you're just starting. You know, it might not go well with the children, but you have to stick to your routine. Okay, so you have to stick to your routine in relation to screen time. Okay, from now on, you're now going to be allowed an hour a day on your iPad, or an hour a day watching TV, and you need to let those children know ahead of time. Okay, you're not going to say, okay, an hour is going to give me the phone or give me the iPad. They need to know that. And also, how can adult limit screen time? Okay, so the way forward in relation to adult limiting screen time, they have to model positive digital behavior. Okay, so like you as the adult as well, you don't have to spend too much on your mobile phones, too much watching TV, because like I said earlier in all my previous video, we should model positive behavior for those children. Children pick up on anything that we do. People around them, whatever people around them do, they would want to cultivate such habits. Okay, so you as the adult as well, you have to start by limiting your the time you spend on the screen. Okay, and also try as much as possible to delay the introduction of screen time, especially for children from back to 6 years, like I've said, on the timing that they have to engage in screen time. So try and introduce screen time later in life. Okay, and another way is you have to be consistent in your rule, clear and consistent rule in relation to screen time. Let the student know that okay, if it's an hour a day that they can have access to screen time, let them know and be consistent. It's not today, oh, you can have the screen for 1 hour today, and then tomorrow you can have it for 2 hours. The children are going to say that, oh, you're not really serious in relation to rule around screen time. Okay, so I believe these few tips are able to help you in relation to how and when you can set screen time for young children. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time in my next episode. Do mind yourself and take care. Bye.